Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are going to be playing some Dimir mid-range, kind of the similar deck to what we were playing yesterday in terms of Esper, or I guess the day before in Esper. But today we're just playing blue-black to see kind of how the deck performs without a Rafine, kind of doubling up on some things that we weren't currently playing or doubling down on things that we want to play more of here. So we're just going to go ahead and hop into the games. If you all enjoy, please be sure to subscribe. I truly appreciate it, and let's just get out there. I mean, I'll maul that. One lander is just unkeepable, but we'll keep this. We have a lot of one drops. No solid blue mana, so I guess that has to go. Enchantments at B, enchantments at do. So we leave this up to blow up a creature here. Audacity it, please. Great cut down value for us. Don't get to draw off Audacity because it never sticks in play on a creature. Play Talking Numa right away. Play the bat. Take a look. I mean, I'm taking the creature, I guess. Like, obviously this is a creature as well, but I don't think it's near as good as... Okay. Go first. We have blue, black. We have white. The kind of quite the play here, so we'll keep a hold of this. And because we're on the play, we'll start off with a Siren right away. See what we're up against. Artifacts at B, artifacts at do. We'll attack. See what's up. Try to get value off this cut down. We may or may not. I didn't put a stop. We'll just keep going. Ozolith. Okay. Well, that's getting popped immediately. Now what's to play? Gix will draw us cards and be a threat. Kaido can draw cards but also be plussing. And we can work on getting its loyalty up quicker here, and that might matter the most. We'll play Kaido. Next, attack. Draw Kaido. So we might have to rely on its ult at some point. Although we are kind of hitting big land stretch, which on one hand's bad, but Gix might be able to do something. No. Nothing yet. Though we have to be a little dangerous here, I think. I want to attack and hold Gix back, I guess. They left up a black mana. Cut down's pretty much the only thing that works here. Holy. Oh. A little bit of a land plan here. Got 4. We need 3 more lands to activate Gix at any given point, which is really not happening regardless. We'll take that trade immediately if we can. That is still good. We keep drawing lands, which I would love for that to stop at some point. Attack again. We'll activate again. That's fine because we can give it Death Touch. I think we only have to do it twice to do Death Touch, which we have the mana for. Yeah. Pass. Although I would like to flash in Malcolm and Mastermind here. This can tap both those. It can tap this, dies, counters on target creature you roll. Sure. Sure. I have to just let Malcolm go, because if I kill this here, all the counters will go somewhere else. That's what the backup does. So Kaido's gonna have to go.
Mission's compromised.
Flashing Malcolm. Flashing Mastermind. Yeah, I guess. That's where I want to be. Attack, attack, attack. Malcolm trigger. Well, I mean, I'll keep a hold of invasion because it's a card that does something. Rid of the island. Oh, those are cards. 1 and 2, we still have death touch options, so we just pass. The only real problem is the warden now have flying. I guess 2 counters per kind of action here, which is tough. That attack, we will just take it, I guess. Activate. 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 Okay. Yes. Oh, Malcolm. How do you ever beat a 5/6? Don't. Correct. Good answer. I'd love to have played Mirix at some point, but I don't think there's any point that we could have really activated it and gotten value. Maybe one time? One time for the one time? Counter goes on there. Attack. Will you attack with it? I mean, this can surely chump for a turn. Save our life. Save face a little bit. You just kind of draw anything other than lands. I know Shieldred's a good draw, but I think we have better draws at times. Evolve Sleeper, kind of the same scenario. We start swinging Death Touchers and cause action, but I can also reactivate this Evolve Sleeper, which is my play here. Is there anything important in anybody's graveyard? Deep Cavern Bat or Gix is pretty good. I know, well, I also take half their life total here. Was it Shieldred in play? Yeah, we just have to focus face here. Sure. That out of the way. They move counters. That's fine. We have flyers. That doesn't have trample. We have the mana to reactivate here. We could also activate the Mastermind, which might actually be our cheesy way to win this game. Page you. Sure. Why are you not attacking with that 5/6? Malcolm block. Sure. Activate. We'll gain some. We'll draw an extra card. They'll lose. Then we just get to kind of win in the cheesy way. We wait until they draw a card and the trigger's on the stack, and then we double activate. No attacks in turn. Draw, trigger on the stack. Activate. Then we activate one more time. All. And we get there in a really cheesy kind of roundabout way. We go first. Weirdly enough, Odawara will probably be our first land drop. 2 lands in the hand, we can't really plan around keeping Odawara around, because if it's aggro, we're going to feel really upset about taking damage for no reason. Be really upset about taking damage for no reason. Dark Slick is a great find. Let's go ahead, activate second Siren. Create like a little bit of a barrier here. No attacks. Let's just see what happens. Obviously, Swiss Spear is best play for us because we can actually remove it. And 1/1s are too strong. Ooh. One goes first. We can actually do some kind of cool where we lead off from the Mirix to get the Evolved Sleeper down and not take damage. Then only have to take damage off our Underground River if we choose to. Which we probably will regardless. Evolved Sleeper or Siren? I kind of like playing Siren because Evolved Sleeper is a little bit potentially better in the later hands. Because we'll just be able to play it and start activating it. Altai. This has to be graveyard shenanigans, right? I mean, I don't know what else it could be. I bet. Attack? Be like Tainted Indulgence or something? I don't know if that's in speed or not. I don't remember. Do not recall. Which makes this card pretty bad, but also really good at the same time. What is we doing? Yeah, so it's graveyard shenanigans. So this card, a little bad, but also good because, like, on one hand, never mind, it's fantastic. Yeah. So I would like to potentially do this the opposite way. Would I? Where I just kind of crew this up. Establish my Evolved Sleeper, hold up to go for the throat for some big spell. While also keeping pressure on the board. And they're a big draw deck, so Fairy Mastermind will actually be really nice here. Let's play Sleeper and then hold up to go for the throat. And then next turn, we can bring up the Schooner along with the Siren and body this invasion to hit something important like this card. Maybe. Maybe. Used to know. No. No. Tell me out. Sure. Now we're gonna be a little slow. And that comes in. Is great, so we can get it out of the way. Important move. Yeah. We want to see what we hit with our map here first. One time, please. Let's go. Malcolm, not that great, to be honest, in this specific spot. Second Mirix. Let's play an invasion. What good? Oh, we get to take an Atraxa. We only get a 4/4 of it, but you know, actually, I'm gonna do something different. I'm not gonna take Atraxa. Because of course, if I take Atraxa and they play a 7/7 Atraxa, like. We're actually in a worse spot. Let's do something cool here. Deep Cavern Bat, probably a decently good follow-up of all things, actually. Invasion, cast. In our graveyard. Enters battlefield. Yeah, let's do this one. Go and grab this one. You can remove it. They have 2 copies. You don't have like a lot of targets. Like you do, but you also don't. Then I have Atraxas. I kind of forgot that's how it works. That I get the card. Sure. You have to pay for it. mean, that would make sense because this does draw extra cards. You pay 3 life. Sure. No black mana in the hand. No mana at all. My turn then. Very, very sweet. Very nice of you, opponent. Let's play Deep Cavern Bat. The Prankster is good. But I'm not entirely sure if it's as good as Bitter Triumph. But they let me look. Because then they have to do this with extra steps. And it'll take like their whole turn. Yeah. Let's take Bitter Triumph. Then through this. Combat. Attack for 8. Essentially grow our board. Second invasion I think is just good. Why wouldn't it be here? Then both our creatures have flash, so no reason to commit them now. Sure. Getting nothing. Oh, because does it value virtue only as the front side when you do that? It doesn't see the sorcery? That's crazy. It's like when you cascade and it ignores that part completely. That's like kind of one of the weird downsides to that, because whenever you do like, for example, in Modern, when you're playing the Crashing Footfalls deck, the one that makes the rhinos, whenever you cascade, when those decks are playing Brazen Borrower technically has a 2-mana ability on it in that adventure spot. To be specific, let's pull this up here. This adventure spot right here, as you can see my mouse maybe, it's 2 mana just like this one is, but it actually avoids that cost, and Brazen Borrower is 3 mana, so whenever they cast a 3-mana cascade spell, it actually skips over the 2-mana spot and just keeps moving on. So I guess this does the same thing. Because they could have had a really nice turn because they milled this virtue over, but it's not able to grab it because it doesn't see this sorcery side to this virtue or persistence. Therefore, they don't get to put it in the hand. They don't get to remove this Deep Cavern Bat that can then get to Triumph back. Because they only have 1 black mana, so like it's virtue, kind of nothing else. And then we flash into Mastermind. Schooner comes back up and attacks for lethal. So it still doesn't like matter, but get out of that game in a really cool way. I got to play a fun creature that doesn't see a whole lot of play because I stole it from my opponent. I mean, yeah, we have 1, 2, and 3 drop, 4 lands, which isn't like, but this deck isn't arguably the best hand of all time in terms of like the land count's pretty high. I think we normally want to start off with like 3 and 4 spells, which is typically the best kind of hand that we can have. But regardless, I will take it. We'll actually hold back the Siren here, just because if they want to offer this trade, gladly I will do it. There's Dahlia. Yeah. Flash this in, so it stops asking me for stops. Deep Cavern Bat is really nice. We'll go into their hand and get rid of the Adeline. Never mind, it's everything else. Proven indestructible. We take the Vanguard. The doobie kind of vanguarding. Look. Make this appear is weirdly fine. Like weirdly fine, right? Because they don't have a cavern, but if they rip a cavern, it feels bad and it feels kind of slow. I mean, let's just keep it, I guess. Evasion's not really going to be doing a whole lot to get us out of this spot. Okay. Down my graveyard, Captain. The race you want, it's a race you'll get. Nope. No land drop from them, so make this appear seems sweet to hold up here. We're gonna get constant stops with the Dauntless General here. Not that they mean to. I think even if you hit like auto pass, it still just does it. Now they're gonna have to force this make disappear out. Regardless, they could have hit a land, but I'm gonna take the value while I can because holding make disappear is a little bit risky because of cavern. Let's get that off the board. They're down to 13. We have quite a fast clock. One more point of damage makes this a 3-turn clock instead of a 4-turn clock. An additional make disappear. Just keep attacking. Keep hitting lanes. There's 9. Again, one more point of damage. Changes this to a 2-turn instead, but our opponent gives up on the race regardless. They miss a land, the second make disappear is going to be devastating if they have a 2-mana spell to throw onto the stack. It's a little bit weird. I don't know how I feel about Midrange Recruiter in these type of builds. I think there's already a formula for mono white being so strong on its own, or just blue black being so strong on its own. You don't really have to commit to making the deck a little bit more complicated with like the recruiters and the Dauntless General and things like that. I could be wrong, of course. This is best of one, so sometimes having like that extra little flavor in your deck of different types of creatures makes it hard for your opponents to play around. But I just, mono white and Boros being so strong in general, I don't know if, I mean, it's probably a one of, but either way, hopefully my point comes across okay there. Okay, so here we are. This is the deck that we were playing today, you know, the Dimir kind of control-y style deck. One of the main things that I didn't really like is I don't necessarily like having more cut downs than go for the throats here. I definitely think this should be a lower amount and go for throat should be higher, and maybe a little bit like maybe find a couple ways to fit other like removal spells in, because it felt like a lot of times I had to try to do tricky things to get things off the board or rely heavily on make disappear in a Cavern of the Souls format. So it's a little bit awkward. I definitely also want to reapproach blue black with the fairies build. I feel like fairies isn't getting a lot of love whenever we have like the schooner available for that deck, because a lot of times that deck would sacrifice in terms of card advantage. We'd be able to play good things, be hard to remove, and then it would be fine, and then we had to play like Halo Forger to get stuff back. With like Malcolm, even though it's not a fairy, is still a really solid card, and Schooner also helps that deck out a lot, and maybe even Invasion of Amonkhet can fill out some of the bad cards that the deck is kind of forced to play. But I think overall today the deck went well. We had one loss in today's kind of spree, which I ended up cutting just because it was a non-game. I hate cutting losses because I don't care to show losses, but we kept a 2-lander, and then we drew 2 to 3 3-mana cards back to back against like aggro. Like we just lost, you know. So like it was just really me just kind of sitting there playing and losing the game, just like from kind of the variance standpoint. I had like a couple of things I did to kind of stall it off, but there's only so much you can do whenever you draw your top end. You don't have the lands to kind of support it, and then you run out of the lower mana spells, for example, or spells that just kind of can't keep up in that regard. So it was like weird. I don't know. It felt awkward to lose that game, but I did. So it just is what it is. Outside of that, it did feel pretty good. I think Invasion of Amonkhet's definitely finding homes in decks that it rightly deserves for the most part, because it is a solid card and was one of the ones that got kind of put on the back burner with the Invasion of Ikoria, I think, the one that goes in domain and gets basics, and then, or I got that backwards. And then the other invasion, which is like the 2 green and X that a lot of people were playing in different formats to go get like a Hex Drinker, the one that removes all the counters, that one's good because you remove all the counters off of it. People are getting it in like the Dark Depths types things. I think that one's Ikoria. I don't remember the other one name, but either way, I like the deck. I hope you all did as well. And we're just going to go ahead and end the video here. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.